My name is Stephanie Duran. Okay. The definition of a sport, according to the dictionary, is an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against others or one another for entertainment. The cheerleaders that you see at high school football games is just the beginning of what they're fully capable of. Hi, my name is Stephanie Duran, and I'm here to convince you that cheerleading should be recognized as a sport in all high schools because they are underestimated and others are unaware of their full capabilities that will consider them as athletes. According to many sources that will soon be addressed, they will mention the limitations of skill on school grounds, the physical requirements needed to be a phenomenal cheerleader, and the lack of support from school peers and school members. The problem of cheer not being considered a sport leads to many negative causes. One really big negative cause would be the limitations and rules that are not allowed on school grounds. Every season there is a new contract that states the limitations and rules of what cheerleaders can and cannot perform. This last season, in the 2013-2014 American Association Cheerleading Coaches and Admin for Cheer Safety Rules, also known as AACCA, there were over 50 rules as to what cheerleaders can and cannot perform. Athletic directors are in charge of this big contract because it is their duty to manage and enforce any rules. If any rule is broken or any stunt is illegally built, the athletic directors have every right to pull the cheerleading program from the school. Stated by AACCA, every rule must be enforced at practices, games, performances, and any other competitions. An example rule that is highly enforced is basket tosses, for example, and it is stated that basket tosses can only be put in place on grass, mat, and rubberized track surfaces. Notice how I said nothing about basketball courts. Once after properly training how to do a basket toss, which you see right here in my picture, it can be fairly simple, but yet very dangerous. But yet, cheerleaders are still not able to do them on basketball floors. From personal experience when cheering in high school, this rule has been highly enforced throughout many years due to previous injuries throughout history. Athletic directors, a solution for this cause would be for athletic directors to allow any perfected stunts to be performed. They would be perfected by the coach, who would then lead it to the athletic director, and then everyone would be able to see the phenomenal tricks. Speaking of audience members, the lack of support from school members and other staff members is another negative